Okay, for those of you who have just joined us today, we are here with Ashraf and Shauny, and we are chatting hydration. Revive is the Cape Cobra's hydration partner, and today we're putting their two favorite ambassadors in the sauna. One's a sports scientist, one somehow survives 100-mile races on questionable life choices. Let's see what happens. Shauny, we'll start with you. Let's start simple. Why do runners actually need electrolytes? Why isn't water enough for hydration?
Yeah, runners need electrolytes because water alone cannot help in terms of the production that the body needs on prolonged exercise as well as races. So, if you look at electrolytes, it's made up of various minerals, and the most important one is your sodium. The reason why sodium is so important is when you sweat, you actually lose more sodium. It's the one mineral that you lose the most. So it's really important that when you are running, that you actually hydrate and you use your electrolytes. So if you look at runners, some of them might be sweating at the same rate, but one might be losing more sodium
Yeah.
than the other. If you don't replace that sodium, then it might be that they become dehydrated or their performances
Yeah, and
decrease.
if you've ever tasted Revive ice cold at an aid station, you know your body wants it, you know. Yeah, and there's a good reason for that. Ashraf, what's the worst hydration strategy you've ever used before a race? You're gonna have to think back. So many races.
Well, I'm, I think Coke and water,
Yeah.
but I'm not. You
You've
want to
never
honor
gone.
someone say? Odos,
Yeah,
Odos. But I
yeah,
love
yeah,
Odos. I normally just take
yeah.
something that I like, not checking what it
Mhm.
actually contains.
Yeah.
Um, so what works
Yeah.
for me, the biggest thing on Ultra is that nausea you try and
Mm,
balance.
mm,
Overhydration gives you nausea, underhydration
Too
gives
much
you
overhype
mm.
is
nausea.
not gonna help.
Yeah, so I normally just take what I
Mhm.
think is cool for my
Yeah.
system.
No, we're very happy that Revive has picked you up as an ambassador and they're looking after your hydration now. Shawnee, what's the biggest hydration mistake you see runners making before an event like Cape Cobra?
Yeah. I think runners, they kind of panic and they have a fear that they're going to
Yeah,
dehydrate. So what they do is they overhydrate a day before the race.
interesting.
And that becomes problematic because a night before you actually want a good night's sleep. So you'll constantly be going to the bathroom if you drink a lot of water the
Hmm.
night before. You also will get to the start line a little bit
Hmm.
feeling bloated, and that's obviously not
Yeah,
what you want.
been
And
there.
if you drink too much water, it might be that you dilute your blood sodium levels.
Okay, back to Ashraf. You've done all the ultimate races around the world. I'm sure there's some more you still want to tick off. Some ridiculous ultras. How much of it, how much of the success is the training and the preparation versus
Uh,
your
well,
consistency? Yeah.
so I don't really specifically train for
Yes.
a race because I run
Yeah.
almost daily.
Hmm.
So
Twice a day sometimes.
yeah, twice a
Yeah.
day sometimes. But what's the question again?
Yeah. How much of is it? How much of it is proper training programs? So you've answered the question.
Every time I
Yeah.
struggle on the race, and that's
Yeah.
most of the time because I didn't
Yeah.
train properly. I'll always say, I'm going
Mm.
back and doing
Hmm.
it properly. I'm going back and
Mm,
I'm going to put in the mileage, I'm going to put in
mm,
the steps, I'm going to put in the
Yeah.
downhills. So training is very
Yeah.
important, yes.
I think
mm,
once you've been doing it for so long, you kind of know how your body feels and you agree to a faster bus or a slower bus according to your calendar. And I've seen your calendar because we've got to book you for the Cobra Recce's, and it's like 3 weekends available in the year. Take it or leave it. Um, Back to Shawnee. Can two runners doing the exact same race have completely different hydration needs? I think this is an important question to answer.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for that question. Yes, 100%. So you can have two runners that run on the same day, the same distance at the same pace, but their sweating might be different. So the first thing that we normally look at as scientists is the
Yeah.
sweat rate. The sweat rate is not that important, but it just shows you how much fluid
Yeah.
you are losing. The second thing we look at is how much sodium a runner is losing, because most of the time, if you don't put back the amount of salt that you are losing, you will become dehydrated and your performance will be influenced. So normally we suggest that athletes get sweat tests, and that is where you can actually see, you can get basic tests that you can do just to see the fluid loss. And then you can also do some tests which are very specific to see how much sodium you are actually losing. And then you know how much you need to put back in terms of your hydration
Fascinating,
strategies.
because, you know, other than that, it's trial and error. And error is, you know, cramping up and ruining the second half of your race.
So as runners, we normally make fun and say, like, kyk hy ou se souteringe. You know, some guys will have that big, girls will have big salt white spots on them. So we always make fun of it. But it's actually that person is losing
too much
a
ORAS.
lot of salt.
more salt than what.
Yeah. So on that, you have two runners that might sweat the same amount in terms of fluid, but the amount of sodium that they're losing is different. And that's why you need to look at what specific sodium levels each runner needs. And you'll see on the hat, on the t-shirt, on the pack, that white is basically the amount of salt that they're losing.
Ashraf, when you're at night sleeping, dreaming, what does an aid station look like in the second half of Comrades?
Second half, Comrades, lots of revive.
In your dreams, eh? Yeah, that's
Zinger wings, crunch burgers. I was actually feeling, Comrades this past, I was feeling like a salt and vinegar chip roll. You know, with a liter of Vimto. I don't even know what Vimto is. Is it cola in India?
But what is that?
That's what I was feeling
an ultra in India now.
But everybody feels. If I could have had a sparkling water, ice cold sparkling, properly reviving to it. That's what I was actually feeling like. I don't know how the revive will act with sparkling water, but I promise you, that's what I was feeling like.
I do that as well. I put some revive in the sparkling water, then you have sparkling
Amazing.
revive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's heaven.
And what flavor would you choose there, just before we get on to the next question?
Definitely blackcurrant.
I would choose the cucumber. I like that one. Is that good?
Okay. Yeah, Shauny, a lot of talk about hydration during a race. What about before and after? You mentioned overhydrating before. If you can answer that question, I feel like you might have answered some of it, but
so a lot of runners, what we normally say is you need to look at your urine in terms of the color. So if it's like a pale yellow, then you know you're in a hydrated state, but you shouldn't be water loading too much the night before. So normally have your thirst as a mechanism in terms of how much you need to take in. Have some fluids with your meals that you're having, but also note when you are eating your food, there's fluid in that as well. So don't overhydrate. Then post-race, that's normally the problem. As we know in trail running, some of the runners forget to drink and even eat, or they just don't feel like it because maybe you were nauseous, etc. in the race. So afterwards, we would recommend that, because when you're sweating, you're losing fluid as well as your sodium counts, that you have your electrolytes with your water afterwards. And you don't have to chug it down, but you just can take it for gradually after the race.
So if I've been doing it wrong, like I'm a firm believer in 1.5 liters of electrolyte before the race, like the day before the race. And I'll normally have it before 3 o'clock because of the toilet or so.
Yes, yeah.
So I'll just like down 1.5 liters of electrolyte.
everyone's different though.
You can phase it out. Yeah, you can phase it out. You don't have to drink it, in one go. You can basically
just set amount of.
It depends again if you do your hydration.
Look at your urine.
Before, how much you
look
actually
at your
need.
urine.
Yeah, and look at your urine.
It's a good.
Your urine. Yeah, because you don't want to be going to the bathroom all the time.
Can't see my urine. My stomach is.
Everyone makes a mistake where they try and down just before the start line.
Yes, because they're afraid of dehydration in the
climb,
race.
50 meters.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the most overrated thing runners obsess about, Ashraf?
Shoes.
Yeah, you want to answer that? You're obsessed with your shoes, your merch, your caps. You couldn't find your Cobra cap this morning. How many caps do you have, actually?
I do love looking. I like a nice cap, and I like nice sunglasses. I'm very when it comes to nutrition, I'm actually very bad with that because I always think my experience will
Right.
carry me through. So I can take whatever with me on the road or on trail, and I'll think I'll know how to manage if anything should go wrong or if everything goes right. That's my thing. But yes, shoes, shorts, merch,
So you think it's
Yeah.
overly
sunglasses.
obsessed. Shawnee, what do you think about shoes as an obsession?
No, I also
Yeah.
like shoes. A trail runner, obviously. There's certain shoes that I wear on
Yeah.
certain trails, so gravel versus,
Yeah.
technical terrain. But yeah, I agree. I also like to put a nice kit together before the race because you've done all the hard work. You might as well just look good while you're dying,
Yeah,
on the trails.
exactly.
Yeah,
Look good and you'll,
Yeah,
feel good.
and
yeah,
don't copy
look the
Ashraf's
part.
stories in terms of nutrition. Don't copy your stories. Not everyone can handle the same nutrition as you.
Yeah.
Traveling the world, racing, what's the strangest thing you've seen at an aid station?
The strangest thing, in China, I've seen chicken
Yeah, I
feet.
saw that.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
an station.
at the aid station, but I don't think that it was part of the aid station. It was somebody's lunch who was working at the aid station. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Chicken feet. Shorty, someone training for the Cape Cobra right now, what's one good hydration habit they can actually start? You preload carbs. Can you do the same with hydration?
Yeah.
Can you get your body used to it?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so on what you asked earlier, if you can just do hydration strategy, so as you would your gut training by training your body to take certain carbohydrates in your race, in your long runs, do the same with your
Yeah.
hydration strategy. Also, look at what products
Yeah.
you are using because sometimes some people, we have a sacred rule where you don't use new products
Yeah.
on race day. So you need to train it before. Then you can decide what product you like, how much fluid do I need to take, and how often do
Yeah.
I need to take it so that you can see when you get to race day, then you have a bit of a strategy. Otherwise, you might just bomb, you'll get nauseous, you'll just feel bloated because you haven't trained your gut and your body to absorb the fluid, but also the carbohydrates. So, kind of having a combined strategy. Sometimes even the fueling strategy and the nutrition and the hydration doesn't work together. So that's why it's good to do that both in long
Nice.
runs as well.
I think where a lot of people go wrong, they think that only the electrolytes will carry you through the race, whereas they need like maybe a carb protein drink
Yep.
with it. So you'll actually need 2 or 3 different bottles of different
Yeah.
goodies,
Yeah.
No, you can
electrolytes,
really mess that one up.
carb
And
fueling
then your
drink.
carb, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, quick fire round. So this one, it's quick answers. We're going to start with Shawnee. We're going to ask you a few questions, and then we're going to move over to Ashraf. Shawnee, coffee before a run? Yes, no. Electrolytes
No,
before a run? Beer
yes,
after a run? Most
yes.
overrated recovery trend?
Recovery
And
beats.
one thing every trail runner should stop doing.
Um,
Into races.
Yeah.
you suffer at the end, and then you're already looking for the entry of the next
All
one.
right, good.
Yeah,
Ashraf,
yeah.
beer or water? Recovery
Water.
run or
I love beer.
yeah, good. Recovery run or recovery burger?
Recovery
Sports
burger.
scientist or TikTok coach?
Sports
Yeah.
scientist.
Yeah.
Electrolytes or KFC gravy? Longest you've
Electrolytes.
gone pretending to know what you're doing.
It's normally 3 days into the race.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's so nice to have you guys. I think Revive's lucky to have you. I think you guys are lucky to have Revive supporting you. Shawnee, keep teaching people why they need to take their hydration seriously. And Ashraf, yeah, we're going to see you continue running for the next 50 years with your hydration looked after now. Yeah. What's next on the calendar?
This weekend is a recce. Next weekend is nice. No, the following week is Bastille.
Shoo.
There's something
Yeah.
every weekend.
And we got 12th of July, Cape Cobra, Puffer, Recce
Cape
party.
Cobra.
Yes.
Yeah,
Finishing
that's
at
the
Bow
big one.
Constantia.
That's actually in bold letters in my
Yes,
diary,
good,
my
good.
calendar.
All right, in closing, today's lesson, Shawnee follows science, Ashraf somehow survives science. Both are running the Cape Cobra. Hydrate properly, train properly, we'll see you on the mountain. Stay wildly beautiful, relentlessly tough. Cheers.